Good afternoon. Wanted to record a little real estate video and kind of give you some insight on a past experience I had. So I recently closed on a house. Wasn't a great experience, and part of the issue was the condition of the home at final walkthrough. I've talked a little bit, I think in a previous video, about what to look for on the buyer side of the walkthrough. What do you want to do? How do you want to be prepared for that? I thought in light of my experience, I'd talk a little bit about what to do when you're the seller and how to prepare your home for a buyer and how not to run into any complications last minute. I think the last thing you want to do, whether you're on the list side or the buy side, is have complications at closing. It's stressful for everybody. People get upset and you kind of leave with a sour taste in your mouth. So I think as an agent, what I do to prepare my clients is to make sure that we have the house ready. And I always say to them, our contract, I will say, states that the house needs to be in what's called broom clean condition. Well, what does broom clean mean? That basically means all your stuff's got to be out of there. It doesn't mean it has to be professionally clean. I guess you could kind of leave it quasi dirty and meet the state standard, but is that really how you want to leave it for your buyer? So I always tell my clients, look, if you want to avoid any complications and have a smooth transaction, what I would suggest is that we have the house in the condition that you would like it if you were buying it. And I think if you follow that advice, sort of the golden rule, so to speak, you're not going to have any problems. You know, if you leave it pretty clean, you don't leave a lot of your personal items there or stuff that you just don't want, didn't get rid of, the buyer's going to come in there and not have any issues. I think as a seller, if you do not prepare your house appropriately, you're going to run into issues at the closing table. And that really opens the door for two things. One, the buyer is going to come to you and say, I want X amount of dollars, or what we call holdback, to prepare the house in a way that was, you know, it should have been left. So either we want money for stuff that might have been damaged, we want a credit for a hauling service to get rid of the personal items that were left behind, or we want what's called a holdback, meaning we're going to hold back X amount of dollars until we determine what the issues are at the house. To give you an example, I had a client that closed about 2 months ago. When we went and did the walkthrough, the insulation in the basement was all wet. They had had a leak there. I think they probably knew that, but they didn't say anything. And when we went down in the basement, it was not what we were expecting. So I believe that client got a rather substantial holdback of around 10 grand to assess the situation. That doesn't mean they're going to get that money. That means the buyer is going to go get quotes, get the work done. If there's anything left in that pot, then that would go back to the seller after all the work's completed and receipts are given to the seller for that. But I would say your best option in being a seller is just to have your house ready, have it neat and tidy. If you can have it professionally clean, I think that's better. You're not giving that buyer an opportunity to come in and get a credit from you or a holdback, and the closing will go smoothly, and you know everybody's on their way. So one of the things I also do as far as my service to the client is I will always walk through the property after my clients have moved out, just to make sure there's no issues, something didn't get overlooked. I had a client a couple of years ago that forgot that he was leaving the washer and the dryer. When I came in and did the walkthrough, they were missing, and we had to address that. So I think just being a good seller, treating people in a kind way, in a way that you like to be treated, will eliminate any problems. So if you have any questions about real estate, you're looking to buy or sell, I'm an experienced agent, love to work with you. You will get my absolute very best. It's truly an honor and a privilege to represent the people that I do. So my number is 630-816-8701. Have a great day, guys. Bye.